"Open wide," she said, in her most seductive French accent. And so I did. And in it went. In that one moment, in that one movement, and in that one mouthful, I was taken back to the haziest memories of being spoon-fed as a baby, or at least my imagining of what that must have been like. That dish, or rather, the way in which it was served, also foreshadowed what my last meals may well be like as the darkness draws in. So, if you want just one example to illustrate how food is so much more than merely a matter of nutrition, then that was it. That mouthful of lime gelée at the Fat Duck restaurant in Bray many, many years ago. It was an incredibly powerful experience, shocking, disturbing even. But why? Well, I guess in part because no one had fed me that way, at least not in the last 45 years or so. Footnote: the only thing missing was for the waitress to have me sit on her lap before serving me. I doubt that Heston and the gang would dare to repeat this little interlude at the Duck today. It is just a little too provocative, a little too out there for those gastro-tourists who can afford the £295 price of admission, now that the restaurant has firmly established itself as one of the grand temples of modernist cuisine. But others have since taken up the baton from Heston and his ilk, such as David Muñoz, the bad boy of modernist cuisine, at Diverso in Madrid. End of footnote. Yet there I was, at what was soon to become the world's top restaurant, being spoon-fed my 3 Michelin-starred dinner. Well, one course of it, at least. Just enough to make the point that dining is about much more than merely what we eat. The pleasures of the table reside in the mind, not in the mouth. Get that straight, and it soon becomes clear why cooking, no matter how exquisitely executed, can only take you so far. One needs to understand the role of the everything else in order to determine what really makes food and drink so enjoyable, stimulating, and, most importantly, memorable. Even something as simple as biting into a fresh ripe peach turns out, on closer inspection, to be an incredibly complex, multi-sensory experience. Just think about it for a moment. Your brain has to bind together the aromatic smell, the taste, the texture, the colour, the sound, as your teeth bite through the juicy flesh, not to mention the furry feeling of the peach fuzz in your hand and mouth. All of these sensory cues, together with our memories, contribute much more than you would believe to the flavour itself. And it all comes together in your brain. It is the growing awareness that tasting is fundamentally a cerebral activity that is leading some of the world's top chefs to take a fresh look at the experiences that they deliver to their diners. Just take Denis Martin's modernist restaurant in Switzerland. The chef realized that some of his guests were not enjoying the food as much as he thought they should, given how much effort he was putting into preparing the dishes. Too often his diners were stiff and buttoned up, suits on account, as he put it. How could anyone who walked in the door sporting such a sour expression be expected to enjoy his food? The solution was brilliantly simple, and involved putting a cow on each and every table. Nothing happens at the start of service until one of the diners, curious as to whether what they see before them on the table is a Swiss take on a salt shaker or pepper grinder, picks up their cow. When they tilt it to look underneath, it lets out a mournful moo. Diners often laugh in surprise. Then, within a few moments, the dining room erupts into a chorus of mooing cows, and the restaurant is full of chortling diners. The mood has been lifted, and that is when the first course comes out from the kitchen. This wonderfully intuitive mental palate cleanser is far more effective than any acidic sorbet, the traditional means of cleansing the palate, at enhancing the diner's enjoyment of the food to come. After all, our mood is one of the most important factors influencing our dining experience, so best try to optimize it.